Thank you to everybody here. It's a pleasure and an honor being here. Today, with you, I will walk you through some topics and in brief introduction on what is the problem with cars and why there is also a problem on smart cars. Who are we of the COST action and what are we doing as an example of this kind of actions? The current status of autonomous connected transport, what is the meaning and what is the state of the art, and why we are here, how blockchain could play a role in these cases. I will offer also some conclusions which will be philosophical since we are in Greece. As an introduction, I will start saying one obvious thing. The problem with cars is incidents. Incidents are caused by human error. It's the most frequent case of fatalities. 95% in USA, 94% in EU. As you can see, a lot of people die on the streets every year. The European Union is putting a great effort in tackling this issue. This view is called Vision Zero, which means no road deaths. But as you can see, since the error is human, the solution seems obvious. If you have smart cars, you have no drivers, you have no mistakes, then you have no deaths. But this could change the world, of course, as you've seen with Industry 4.0, but also this would mean a lot of money, and it's not bad, but there is a problem. There are people driving cars, and this is just an example of other problems in the ecosystems that we have to deal with in smart cars. And it's, of course, one example of a phenomena that has great benefits, but also serious questions. And this is the reason why COST action is alive, why it's being active. This is our website. The purpose is to study, analyze wider implications of the deployment of autonomous connected transport, and to consider also the transition period, since it is still unclear if and when it would start and conclude. But what we are doing is to focus on observe anticipated future mobility trends, to study implication, also social, ethical, institutional, and business impacts. Our structure is, as you can see, divided in 5 working groups. Each working group is focused on one topic, as each working group has a leader who is guiding the research and the activities inside this working group. We are very wide, 41 institutions in 37 countries, so it's very big as an action. And our current activities are quite wide. We have publication, of course. We have a training school on a quantitative modeling for integrating AVs in mobility. We have short-term scientific missions. We have next open call, or you can keep an eye for future ones. And we have also a survey in the EU countries to see what are the trials that are going on. What I'm going to do now is to show you how this phenomena is taking place in the current situation. This is a schema of the 6 levels of autonomicity, which is the fact that you have an ordinary car or the smartest car possible. And nowadays we are more or less here. As you can see, the adoption will be gradually introduced into the market. So now there are level 1, 0, or 2. By 2012 and 20, sorry, level 3 or 4. And we don't know exactly when we will have some smart cars hands-off and completely autonomous. As you can see now, there are some experiments currently ongoing. In this picture, you can see track platooning convoys. The first track is driven by a human driver. The others are just connected. And as you can see here, you have also driverless public transport, low speed. In fact, you can see the kid in the skateboard who's trying to win the race. And now I'm going to show you what are the real issues in autonomous connected transport. Because it's a phenomenon which is kind of multidimensional, because you can have issues concerning artificial intelligence, the classic trolley problem, which is the old lady or the little kid, and you are the smart car, and you have to decide who to kill or to let live. If you are aware of the experiment on the moral machine of the MIT, you can go online and help yourself to find solutions in different scenarios. Also, we are talking about ecology, electric engines. We're talking about shared mobility, personal and non-personal data. This is the nightmare of GDPR, especially, of course, for personal data. And internet connection, and here it's another nightmare because we have the problem of cybersecurity, since hacker can hijack the controls of smart cars and create damages and deaths, of course. Now I will let you understand what are the rules that blockchain could play in this scenario. I give you some examples without being specific on the brands, on the particular implementations, but I think that this could be interesting for you to understand how really blockchain could help us in resolving these issues. I'm thinking about navigation and forensics, microtransaction, proof of ownership, proof of history of the vehicle, supply chain, and this is the one that is the most important for me, and this is the reason why it's the first, because trials show that vehicle-to-vehicle communication or vehicle-to-infrastructure communication are crucial, of course, for navigating the vehicle. And you have many operators, different kinds of providers, public institutions, private companies, and all these data have to be secured by tampering. And in case of incident, there has to be the chain of custody of the data that are provided to court to see who's right or wrong. Another, of course, topic is microtransactions, smart contracts on road fees, fuel, or changing stations. The proof of ownership also is another scenario in which blockchain could play a role. Integrated services, property rights, legal permits, so driver registrations, driver license, rental cars documents, car sharing services. These are all things that concern the property of the vehicle in itself. Now, there are also some implementations concerning the proof of history of the vehicles, and this is the reason why we need to avoid frauds. So, odometer, maintenance, damages, all this information could be useful blockchain. Supply chain also, logistics, new parts, spare parts, recycling, real-time assistance. Now, I give you my conclusions. Since you are in Greece, I thought of Aristotles, and I remembered this phrase that the term being is used in various senses. And I remember that also another philosopher of blockchain, of Ethereum, said something like that the decentralization is also a tricky word, has a different meaning. In this conference, we are analyzing all these meanings, and it's important for me to stress out some of these points that are important for me and for the cost action I'm involved in. We are performing studies, not predictions. I think that futurologists are not fit for disruptive technologies also in smart cars. Beware of black swans and unicorns because they are fascinating creatures, but swans bite. They are quite tricky animals, and unicorns are kind of horses, so they kick. And the unknown, this is important for me because the European Union expressively says that the unknown is in the future. They don't know exactly what will be when the smart cars will be in the roads. It's a cultural challenge. It's crucial to educate young people, raise awareness in institutions and in public debate on benefits and risks of disruptive technologies. And at the end, ACTs are a kind of internet of transportation. So it's a naturally decentralized ecosystem and an interesting opportunity for decentralized networks. I thank you all. I'm waiting for your questions afterwards, so I leave the time for other speakers after me. Thank you very much for your attention.